The homeowner removed the bamboo back here and also did a lime concentrate spray around the house. And it seemed to resolve the issue for a while, but just recently they've noticed that the frogs are back.
When one West Orange community was in the midst of a frog free-for-all, they enlisted the help of wildlife expert Jimmy Jones. After a 3-hour search, Jimmy finds dozens of frogs, all of which he identifies as the invasive Cuban tree frog.
You notice the warts, also the big bug eyes, the broad head, skin fused to the skull. Now let's turn them over. Big toe pads. See how big those are?
Likely transported by ships traveling from the Caribbean, these frogs are thought to have first arrived in Florida in the 1920s. In addition to their exceptionally loud croak, they secrete a toxic mucus that can be poisonous to house pets if consumed and cause an allergic reaction in humans.
You can see it's starting to get irritated in my skin. It's just from the mucus, from the transfer from the glove to me touching my hand.
Jimmy says there are lots of things we can do to limit the number of pests like these.
Of course, we're in Florida, we get these huge thunderstorms, several inches of rain pouring off of the house, which will collect usually around this area. So most homes should have a positive drain plane, which means high to low. You want the water to run away. Water probably collects in this area, which then causes, like I'd say, the domino effect. It's then gonna bring in insects, mosquito larvae. That's a buffet for invasive and native frogs.
Potted plants in any container that collects water can also provide a perfect breeding environment.
Oh my gosh, these tadpoles are huge. You have a Cuban tree frog heaven right there.
Yeah. Letting pests know you're around is another way to discourage them from taking up residence on your property.
White noise in the home, if, you know, people keep ceiling fans on, or I tell them to put music on. That will reduce it some in the home. The other way is also being proactive around the home. It's not an overnight process. It's going to take a while, and again, it's Mother Nature. It's something that some people just have to deal with. So, I mean, they're here. It's Florida.
Jimmy says if all else fails, you can try giving the frogs an alternative they may enjoy more than your home.
Yeah, this is like the landscaping to keep the mulch in.
We're on the side of the house where the frogs like to hang out. We're actually building an artificial habitat. We're using this tiki bamboo that the frogs will be attracted to. They'll end up inside, then we can take the bamboo and move them out of this area.
To build your own frog habitat, you need to figure out where the frogs like to gather and start there.
Since I did an evaluation on a home and found that most of them started to crawl out of this area, probably from over there.
Next, you'll need some mulch.
I recommend with people, and it helps with reduction of insects too, is rubberized recycled mulch. It lasts forever, it reduces termites, it reduces insects, which in then in return would reduce the apex predator for them. So we're just building a perimeter rubberized mulch with 2 artificial tiki bamboo habitats for them to hopefully hide and collect in during the day. Most people use PVC, however, cosmetically, this is more appealing.
Once the frogs start collecting in the bamboo, you can lift the tubes out of the ground and move the frogs away from your home. If you'd like more information about how to deal with Cuban tree frogs or other invasive species, visit the Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission's website at myfwc.com. Coming up next week on Ready, Set, Renovate,
we show you a renovation that will help build healthier kids and stronger families.
Each one has its own different vision. The sea life one obviously is very easy to do. It's just a journey under the sea through a child's eyes.
That's next week on Ready, Set, Renovate, right here on WKMG.